AFC West, one of the most exciting divisions in football. We got the former Super Bowl champion Kansas City Chiefs coming back, reigning champ, defending champ, but we could have some risers. But before we dive into that, Brendan, how we doing?
Man, you know what, man? I'm just so good. The baseballs won this weekend. Going to Omaha this weekend. I'm just good.
Good.
How are you?
Well, I'm great, man. It's middle of June, and we're getting ready to talk some win totals. So I cannot be better. So with that being said, why don't we get started? Broncos,
Sure.
8.5 wins. They got Sean Payton, but they have Russell Wilson. They're currently plus 550 to win the division. The big question is, can Sean Payton fix the Broncos? Do you think Sean Payton can mend Russell Wilson into being a formidable quarterback again? Because if not, I do not see 8.5 wins. BJ, do you think they go over or under?
Why are we hating on Russell Wilson after one bad year, guys? Why?
One bad year, one abysmal year. Bad doesn't even do the
terrible.
justice. Doesn't even do it justice.
I mean, I agree, but the whole scheme that they were trying to run with Nathaniel Hackett was horrible. And it was just the worst thing to watch, I swear, the whole year. But no, I mean, they got Sean Payton in there, virtually the same team back. Little shaky running back room because Javonte Williams come back from injury, but I think that they're definitely gonna be better than last year. I'll tell you that. But I mean, they play in a hard division, and in the AFC, and 8.5 is a little steep, I'd say, for a big turnaround. But I do think that they will get a few more wins under their belt with Peyton as their coach now. But I wanted to see what they finished last year. Come on, go back. Yeah, 5 wins. That's horrible. I had them at 8. I think it's still under 8.5. But I think it's gonna be a lot better football to watch. But I just don't buy it.
Two things have to happen. One of them is the defense has to perform as well as they did last year. Okay, which is very possible. I think it probably is more than likely to happen, considering they kind of loaded back up on the defensive side. Now, the next thing, Russell Wilson has to return to some form of decency. He cannot go out there and play the way he did, and the Broncos expect to win 9 or more games. But the question is, Sean Payton, can he fix that? We'll see if he's the actual true QB whisperer, but I'm just not buying it in the first year, considering the errant throws and the crazy mistakes that Russell Wilson made last year. I don't think that's fixable in a short amount of time frame and just a 1-year turnover. So I'm with you, man. Under 8.5.
I mean, the scheme is going to be completely different, probably a lot lower ADOT. And they've got the receivers to do that. But I think they'll be fine. I just don't think they get over 8.5.
Right. So I mean, tough conference,
Yeah.
Tough division. I mean, the AFC is wildly more superior than the NFC. So, and then let alone the AFC West. So they got to play everybody in that division twice, and I don't see them coming out above 500 in their division. And I think they're going to struggle with some of their road games. So 8.5 wins, I don't think they can do it. But who knows? Sean Payton may surprise me. I'm taking the under. And I don't think the plus 550 is enough good value for me to take that.
No.
So let's take a step over to another team who's kind of doom and gloom right now. Jimmy Garoppolo failed his physical. They don't even know if he's going to start for the Raiders. I mean, right now, as it stands, Aiden O'Connell is going to be the starting quarterback for the Las Vegas Raiders. 7.5 wins. I mean, kind of nasty. They had a disappointing year last year. They finished kind of strong, but man, I don't know if they loaded up well enough. I don't know if the second year is going to push this Raiders team to the next level like everybody is expecting. What do you think? 7.5 wins. Are you over or are you under?
I'm not sure. I mean, I don't think it really matters who plays quarterback for them, because the reason Garoppolo was so successful at the 49ers was because it was Shanahan run offense and he didn't have to do anything special. but now being over here at the Raiders, if he is the starter, he's gonna have to do something kind of special to get 8 wins. But they've got a good run game, got a solid defense. I was just looking at their schedule, and I mean, they've got the Bills away, and their schedule they play the Chiefs. The schedule isn't horrible, but at the same time, they have to play the Chiefs and the Chargers twice. And I don't know about that. They'll definitely drop a couple games that they shouldn't. So I had them like right at 7. I mean, I would go with the under, be safe here. I mean, I just don't think they'll turn around. They had 6 wins last year, and I think they're worse.
Yeah, I do too. And I mean, plus 1,100 to win the division. Do you think they even have a chance to win?
Sorry, you cut out. What'd you say?
Do you like? I don't know. This episode's gonna be fucked.
Yeah.
But so okay, plus 1,100. Do you think the Raiders even have a chance to win?
No.
Like at all?
No. Neither do the Broncos. But no, they don't.
Yeah, you cut out there too. All right, let's just try and finish, I guess. Chiefs, 11.5 wins. Over the past 5 years, they've only gone below 11 wins once. It's kind of hard to fade the reigning Super Bowl champion. I mean, it kind of feels like they've slowly added pieces. I mean, they only lost Juju Smith-Schuster on the offensive side of the ball. They've kind of started adding more smaller and smaller pieces. I feel like their defense is going to be fine again. Their offensive line is going to be solid. And they have Patrick Mahomes. I mean, it's kind of as easy as that. 11.5 wins. It's like, if it ain't broke, don't fix it, right? You have to take it over, right?
Yes.
Am I crazy?
No. Patrick Mahomes has never had less than 12 wins as a Chief. Isn't that correct?
As a full-time starter, yeah.
So, no. You go over. It's don't be stupid here. It kind of felt like last year they had over the first couple of games to like kind of get used to like the new like running back room and all of that, and he had no weapons on the outside. But losing Juju doesn't do anything, in my opinion. So I mean, I think it's we don't really have to talk about it. I think that is pretty easily goes over there.
Right, and I mean, I think the out of conference games will trip them up. If they were to fall under 11.5, I don't really see them, going under 500 in division play. I mean, I think they beat the Raiders twice. They own the Raiders. Mahomes owns the Raiders, and then Broncos. I mean, they go no short than 1-1, and you almost have to say that about the Chargers. But let's pivot to the Chargers.
Oh,
I fall for the same trap every year, but I think the Chargers are going to be amazing this year. I think they're going to take the next step. I think Chargers 9.5 wins is a lock. I know I fall for the trap every single year, and I know I fall for the trap of saying Justin Herbert, if this is his breakout year, this is the one where he takes the MVP type step. But I truly believe this is the year, solely because of the new offensive coordinator hire in Kellen Moore. I think that their defense is legit. They're going to make strides better than they did last year. And the offense, they only added to it. Quentin Johnson, he's out there now. He's going to add vertical length, vertical speed to this offense. Mike Williams, Keenan Allen, Austin Eckler, Donald Parham. I mean, it's going to be, Gerald Everett at tight end still. So I think the Chargers pose the best chance to knock off the Chiefs in this division and in the conference. I mean, I think if a team's going to do it, it's going to be the Chargers. So I'm really high on this Chargers team. I think double-digit wins is very, very likely for this team this year. What do you think?
Yeah, we both get a half shove over Kellen Moore every time he comes up, but he really does change offenses in the way that I think the Cowboys this year are going to take a big step back because they don't have him, like McCarthy calling the plays. But yeah, I like they kind of had a stale offense. I mean, the running game's still great with Eckler. They added to the wide receivers. Their defense is still solid. Not the best ever, but I mean, they underperformed last year. I think they can really boosted this year. But I was just looking at their schedule, and like I really only think they play like 5 teams that are like better than them. So I'm thinking they're an 11-win team. Definitely a 10-win team. It goes over 9.5, but I think they're going to win the division.
I do too. I mean, plus 350 to win the division. I'm taking that all day. I'm not taking Chiefs juice odds of minus 165. I'm going with the Chargers. And you know what? If I fall flat on my face again, falling for this Chargers team, you know what? So be it. I'll take that chance any day of the week. I think this Chargers team is absolutely worth betting on. I'm going to put my money on this Chargers team to win the division, to make the playoffs, go over 9.5 wins. I am fully bought into the Chargers, almost as much as I'm bought into the Baltimore Ravens.
Yeah.
So,
well, it's funny.
I think that answers the question for who we think is going to win. I mean,
it's funny you say that because when we had the MVP show, my top two were Lamar Jackson and Justin Herbert. So you just said about the Ravens. But I think the Chargers are going to score a lot of points. I think that everyone's stats are going to be inflated, and I think they're going to win a lot of ball games this year.